When it comes to the world of online business, it is very important to plan. There's some things you can't plan for, like you can't plan what opportunities are going to pop up that you don't currently know about. But there's a lot that you can plan for, like what your content is going to be about in the coming year, what products you're going to make, like courses or membership sites, what affiliate promotions you're going to be a part of, what affiliate promotions you're going to join that you're not currently a part of. Add to that whatever metrics you want to hit, like more subscribers or income goals, and you've got a lot that you can work towards for the coming year. This is why every year I like to get away for at least a night in December and plan out the coming year. And I have a very specific way that I do this, and in this video I'm going to tell you what my process is and give you some ideas for how you can do something like this in your business, whether you do it year end like I do, or whether you just decide to do it anytime you want to plan out the next several months or the next year. I think you're gonna find in this video a really helpful step-by-step process for planning out your online business, both the content, the promotions, the products, all the things that you wanna do in the coming months. So for that, stick around. My name's Lane. This is my channel, and I wanna give you something for free for coming by today. If you go to lanesebring.com/super simple, you can pick up my super simple guide to your first $500 online. If you're new to making money online and you're thinking about starting an online business, this guide is going to give you a step-by-step process to getting that first $500 simply from what you know. I'm going to walk you step by step through the process of how I've done it and how I've led so many people that I've coached to do this style of business. So you can pick that up for free at lanesebring.com/super simple. The reason why planning is so vital is because when I don't have a plan, I kind of flail a little bit. You may relate. Like if I don't have a plan for my business, if I don't know where I want to take it in the coming year, then I can tend to just kind of continue working on the things that I like to work on and avoiding the things that I don't like to work on. And that can be my year, and it can be somewhat unintentional. And I don't want that. I have very specific goals to at least double my revenue every year. I'm on track this year to actually triple my revenue from last year, which is exciting, but that doesn't happen by accident. You can't necessarily plan for that type of growth, but what you can do is put yourself in a position where growth of some level is inevitable. And that's what I'm talking about. I want to plan for that. So I want to plan what kind of content I'm going to put out. I want to plan when I'm going to release that content. I want to plan what new products I'm going to release, like courses or membership sites. So last year I did that for this year, and that resulted in a new membership site, a brand new course, a new promotion every quarter, and as a result, a tripling in revenue. This year I went to my normal place that I go to, which is a hotel in my city, downtown, and I do that for a few reasons. Could I do this here at my house? Yes, I guess I could, but I have all the normal distractions of my normal life. I have my kids, my wife, I have my family. So there's not really a way for me here to have just absolute focused, uninterrupted time where I'm doing nothing other than working on my business. I just don't have that luxury when I'm at home. But when I carve out the time in a different place, in a different setting, I have all the time I need to just focus on working on my business. And that's what I did. So the first thing that I would suggest is get away. If you can afford to do a hotel for the night, it's a business expense. It's kind of a cool thing. Go ahead and do that. If you can't afford that, then find maybe some place that somebody will let you use for a set of hours or a set of time for free, just to get away from your normal setting. Now, once I'm there, I really like to set the tone for what I want to accomplish while I'm there. To do this, I have these really large Post-it notes that I use to write my thoughts down on whatever project I'm working on, whatever thing I'm planning. And then those go on the wall to serve as a little bit of a reference for me through the rest of the planning retreat. So the first thing I do is I write down kind of here's all the things that I want to do in these next 2 days, the night and the next day that I'm there. And that really keeps me focused. And so for me, it has to do with planning out the courses I'm going to build, planning out the content I'm going to make, maybe planning out affiliate promotions that I'm going to do, and maybe planning out what kind of goals I'm going to set for the coming year. I do that for the first thing. And then what I do is I go through that list and I try to think about what would make sense to plan first. So, for example, I have a goal this year to release my first course in this brand, the Lane Sebring brand, which is going to be a course on how to start and grow an online business. Well, it makes sense for me to plan that course before I plan my weekly content schedule, because my weekly content schedule is probably going to have a lot to do with the buildup of that course. So I want to have that planned first and then build my weekly content schedule, and then I'll go from there. So for you, think about what are the things in the coming year that you want to accomplish in your online business. Maybe it's release your first course. Maybe it is to do a couple of promotions throughout the year. Maybe you just want to get on paper the content that you're going to do for the coming year. Whatever it is, write that down on your sheet and start working through each one of those. Now, for each thing that I plan, I actually have a separate big Post-it note on each individual item. And this is because of a couple of things. One, I'm visual, so I like to kind of get it in front of me really big, and it helps me to kind of take it out of my mind and put it on something that I can see. But then the other thing is I put it on the wall, and as I'm planning other things, I always have that as a point of reference. So I have my course plan, I have my quarterly promotions plan, I have the plan for my content, and all of that stuff is in front of me and I can see it, and that makes it really simple as I'm going through things. I can quickly look at the wall, reference the work that I've already done, and that will inform the work that I'm doing. And then perhaps the most important thing of all of this is at the very end, I take all of what I've planned to do and I set some tangible goals. What I want to do is I want to have some goals that are a little bit challenging for me, but are still attainable, but are directly related to the work that I've decided is important. And you can work in both ways, and sometimes this goes the other direction. Like sometimes I'll set the goal and then work backwards. I think that really works too. But the point is, the very last step of this is to really articulate and crystallize what my goals are going to be. And so sometimes if I start with my goal in mind, I might ask the question, what would it look like for me to accomplish this goal? I saw this the other day, didn't even realize this was something that I did, but it's a really remarkable, fantastic way to set a goal. I'll give you an example. Last year at my retreat, I asked the question, what would it take for me to refer 100 people to Kajabi as a part of my affiliate relationship with them? So I started working backwards and said, well, that would probably take a video a week, maybe a big video promotion, maybe it would take more bonuses, whatever the case may be. At the end of the day, it would take a lot of different things, but answering that question actually helped me set the right actions in place to accomplish that goal. So I just started this year with looking at everything like that. Like if I want to have X amount of dollars earned in this category by the end of the year, what is that going to take? Well, I'm going to have to work backwards from there and see what inputs are required to meet that goal. And this starts to kind of make it really fun. Instead of just setting an arbitrary goal and saying, well, I'm just going to work really hard and try, you actually set the goal, work backwards, ask the right questions, and then you line all those things up, and then you take action. Now, when all of this is over, I leave with a few top actions in every category. So for me, I've got 4 categories that came out of this: Lane Sebring YouTube, Lane Sebring General, Lane Sebring Kajabi, and then Preaching Donkey General. And in each one of these 4 categories, I've got 1 or 2 or 3 actions that I want to take immediately. And this is important because often you can go and do a retreat planning session, and at the end of it, you've got some really fun Post-it notes and you felt really inspired, but you don't exactly know how to take all of that work you did and turn it into results. And this is why top actions that I take immediately are really, really important. So you want to make sure to define those when you come back. And ultimately, if you don't do anything else, if you just plan your content for the next year, then the retreat is a massive win. This is something that I learned from Graham Cochran. He does this every year where he just plans the content for the coming year. This will ensure that you never are staring at a blank cursor wondering, what am I going to write about? What kind of video am I going to make? What is my podcast episode going to be about? You can take a planning retreat like this and plan out a year's worth of content relatively easily. We'll get into that in another video, and I'll talk about just how to make content. But for now, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What kind of planning do you do for the coming year? And what are some of the things that you'll take from this video and put into practice yourself? But for now, check out this video right here. I think it'll be a really helpful next step to this one.